The African Union Summit has always been a stage where leaders gather to discuss unity, progress, and cooperation. But this year's summit took a shocking turn that left many leaders stunned and none more visibly shaken than South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. What began as routine deliberations quickly spiraled into one of the most intense confrontations in AU history when Burkina Faso's young and fiery leader, President Ibrahim Traoré, stood up and delivered a warning so sharp, so uncompromising that the entire hall fell into stunned silence. At just 36 years old, Ibrahim Traoré has become one of the most influential and controversial voices on the continent. Known for his fierce stance against neo-colonialism, foreign interference, and corruption within African governments, Traoré has built a reputation as a fearless revolutionary leader. When he speaks, he doesn't mince words. He delivers them like thunderbolts. At the summit, Traoré wasted no time pointing fingers. He spoke of Africa's betrayal by its own leaders, men and women who, in his words, serve external masters while their people suffer. He demanded an Africa that stands for its people, not for the elite few. And in that fiery speech, he issued a shocking warning directed squarely at those in power, including Ramaphosa himself. As Traoré's words echoed through the grand hall, cameras caught something extraordinary. For one of the few times in his long political career, President Cyril Ramaphosa appeared visibly shaken. His usually calm and measured demeanor cracked under the intensity of Traoré's accusations. Eyewitnesses reported that Ramaphosa's eyes welled up and he struggled to maintain composure. Why? Because Traoré's warning struck at the very heart of the criticisms Ramaphosa has been facing back home: allegations of weak leadership, inability to tackle corruption, and accusations that his administration protects the wealthy elite while ordinary South Africans are left behind. It wasn't just a political statement. It felt like a personal indictment. Traoré's words weren't polite suggestions. They were a fiery ultimatum. African leaders must choose whether they are with the people or against them. He declared that leaders who put personal gain above their citizens, who bow to international powers while ignoring the cries of the poor, will be exposed and rejected. The shocking moment came when he turned directly toward Ramaphosa's delegation, raising his voice and declaring that the time of complacency is over and the time of accountability has arrived. The hall erupted in murmurs, and for a moment the AU summit looked less like a diplomatic gathering and more like a battlefield of ideology. What happened next was even more telling. Some African leaders erupted in applause, clearly inspired by Traoré's fiery stance. They see him as the voice of a new Africa, bold, unapologetic, and unwilling to bow to outside control. But others sat stone-faced, uncomfortable with his uncompromising tone. Some whispered, some avoided eye contact, while others exchanged uneasy glances. The division was obvious. Traoré had just thrown down a gauntlet, forcing leaders to reveal where they truly stand, with the people or with the crumbling status quo. In that tense moment, many expected Ramaphosa to stand up and respond. After all, he is the president of one of Africa's largest economies, often viewed as a continental heavyweight. But instead, he remained seated, silent, and visibly emotional. Some analysts argue the silence was dignified restraint, an attempt to avoid further escalating tensions. Others believe it was evidence that Ramaphosa had no strong defense to offer against Traoré's cutting words. Whatever the reason, the image of a tearful, silent Ramaphosa while a fiery young leader berated the failures of Africa's elite may become one of the defining moments of this summit. This confrontation represents more than just a clash of personalities. It is the story of a generational divide in African politics. On one side, older leaders like Ramaphosa represent the cautious negotiation-driven style of leadership that has dominated post-apartheid Africa. On the other side, rising leaders like Traoré represent impatience with the slow pace of change, demanding radical transformation now, not decades from now. This story is far from over. The political earthquake set off by Ibrahim Traoré's shocking warning is still shaking the continent, and the aftershocks will be felt for weeks, months, and possibly years. To stay ahead of the story, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on your notifications. You don't want to miss the next twist in this high-stakes drama that could redefine African leadership forever. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Traoré went too far, or was he exactly what Africa needed to hear? Was Ramaphosa's emotional reaction a sign of weakness or a rare moment of honesty? Let us know below. We are watching every response.